Good boy. Sit. Good. All right, well, here we are back again at Animal Training Development Center, and today we have Bowser with us. Bowser is on day 9 of his 10-day board and train program. Now, typically this program is what we call our boot camp program because we do in 10 days what would typically take us up to, 4 or 5 weeks to complete with a daycare training program. So Bowser's been here for our kind of crash course, but I can say that even though we've been stepping up the pace and stepping up the intensity in our training, even though he's a young dog, he's held up super well, and he's actually made this whole process a lot of fun for everybody around him. So Bowser likes to have a good time, and Bowser enjoys the interaction, and he enjoys the challenges that come with training. He's a smart dog, he's an affectionate dog, and he's a very supportive dog, as it turns out. When we first got Bowser, he came to us as a high dominant with an underscore supportive dogality type, which meant he was more prone to be a little bit pushy. He was more, jumping up on people. He wasn't respecting some boundaries with some other dogs, kind of like a typical dominant dog, kind of push their weight around. He was into marking. He marked a lot of stuff in our training center the first few days that we had him. We worked on breaking him of that. And even on walks, he was marking, like every 10 steps, he was lifting his leg on something. Now, part of that is his age, but part of it is his dogality type. And so he does have that tendency to lean in that direction, like all dominant dogs do. But what we want to do is keep them off of that, because once they get into this marking habit, it lasts a lifetime, and it's a big distraction to enjoying a walk with the dog when they're only looking at, where's the next place for me to mark over and check to see if somebody's marked over where I've marked over. And I always joke, but they call it a pissing contest for a reason. And it's all because dogs get into this, whole fixation with marking over territory and then marking over marked territory, that sort of thing. So in the process of doing that, we flipped him. He's completely different now than he was when we got him. So I would say he's high supportive now with the underside of dominant. And so what we've got is a dog that has changed his perception of the world, and that's something that will continue to last so long as you follow through with the training that you're about to do. And we're going to prescribe 30 days of 20-minute-a-day sessions for you to do at home, practicing the techniques you'll see in this video, coming back and seeing us and working on that follow-up session where I can put the leash in your hands and kind of coach you through the techniques, and then maybe even buying a package of drop-in classes. We'll talk to you about those as well. So what I wanted to show you is kind of the things that we've done with him, and the first thing that we did is what you're seeing even now. We've taught the unspoken command, and the unspoken command means, if you're on a leash, Bowser, you can do whatever you want, and you can go wherever you want, as long as you never get to the end of the leash at any time for any reason. And we call this the unspoken command because we shouldn't have to say anything. And that means if I start to walk away, he should get up and follow me like he just did. If I stop along the way, he should stop with me like he just did. If I go a different direction, he can jump up on there, but if I continue to move forward, he should be following me off of there. And right there, I caught him getting near the end. If you catch him getting near the end, and he's going to try this, for time to come, he's still a very young dog, and he still needs a lot more of what we call life experience to become a super well-trained dog. And the only thing that gives a dog life experience is life. And because he's such a young dog, he's going to need a lot of reminders even moving forward for probably up until, the next year or so before he really gets to his peak and he's at the best that he's ever going to be. And then once they reach that peak, you hope that they live forever. And of course, they never do. And they'll start to, peak out, and then they'll start to, get older, and they'll slow down a little bit, and they won't be as sharp as they used to be. And so it's just like us as humans, you develop and you become mature, and then you enter that zone in life where you're at the best that you're going to be, and then you start to get older and you start to decline. It's all very natural, but we're enjoying watching him start to progress up the peak, and he's doing a really good job. He hasn't peaked yet, but he's still young, and so you're going to need to continue to practice these techniques and work them around the environments that you're going to be living in, and so that he can become the ideal dog for you. So the first rule again is this unspoken command. You never get to the end of the leash at any time for any reason, and all I do is I walk them around, and we do what we call stop and go training. So if I stop at any time, he should keep within the leash that I've given him. And right there, he's stopping, even looking at me, very nice. As I walk away, he's following, maybe even goes over the cot, but he's staying with me in a general sense. And so it's not as strict as the heel command that I'm going to show you here in a minute, but it's a very nice, workable command that allows you to go out and just enjoy a walk together. So that's our unspoken command. So, if you think of it, it's just kind of like walking, but you don't have to say anything. You know, your dog should just never get to the end of the leash at any time for any reason. And if they get near the end of the leash at any time for any reason, you're just going to proactively tug in the opposite direction that they're going right before they reach the end. And if you do that, he's really good about picking up on what you mean now and getting that right. The next thing we did is simple sit command. Bowser, sit. Good. Sit means sit and keep sitting till I tell you to stop sitting, no matter what happens while you're sitting. So that's our next command. As I start to walk a circle around him, you should keep sitting. No, sit. If he goes to get up, we say the word N-O, and as we say that word N-O, we're going to tug, in a direction that's going to pivot his head up and his butt down back into that sit position. So, it just depends on which direction he stands up into, but all I do is tug up and behind his head just to pivot his head up and his butt back down. Good. He's waiting on that release word. That release word we've taught him is okay. Okay means you can stop sitting, do whatever you want. You notice he came forward to me to get that praise, and that's great, but he didn't jump when he got to me. Now he's thinking about it. There. Good. Conditioning is all about undoing the past and redoing, the future. And so when he came to us, he would jump up all the time. Every time you gave him a release word, he'd get excited, come up and jump. And if you pet him when he does that, he'll do that forever. Now, you guys told us you want to work on that jumping. And so all I'm doing is as he jumps up, I use the leash to pop him off me. Now, using the leash is very effective to teach him not to jump. If I push him off me with my hands, then that's giving him mixed signals, and he's probably going to keep jumping up to keep getting that touch. And we don't want that. And so, try to not pet him at least, or not touch him at least when he jumps up. If you can stand to ignore him, tell him to sit until he sits, and then give him a reward. If you have to use a correction device, his remote collar has been super effective. This little button that we've been using with him that you've given us has been working super well. We found that in most cases, just that vibration is all that he needs to feel in order to get the lesson learned. And once in a while we have to go to the little lightning bolt when he gets super excited and jumping up, or marking behavior is the other one we've used this a lot with. And so there's a difference between a dog that is marking territory and urinating in order to do that versus a dog that has a legitimate need to urinate and therefore just has to physically do that deed. So once he's lifted his leg and marked on that first thing on a walk, then we know that his need to urinate should be over at least for a half hour or so. And therefore, anytime he does lift his leg on things from that time until we're done with our walk, then we can correct him when he does, and knowing that that's marking and not urinating. And so he's learned the difference of that with us, and if you continue to work on it, even if he remains unneutered and you guys decide to breed him down the road, he won't be one of those dogs that's just really hooked on marking, and that's a good thing. The next thing we taught him is the heel command. Heel. And I'm going to show you that. Good. Heel is a position in relationship to your body, and we're seeing right now a perfect position of that from Bowser. His head is where I could reach out and touch it, but not so close that he's restricting my motion if I try to turn a sharp right. His paws and my feet are parallel with each other, and he's looking and focused on me. That's exactly what we want from the heel command. Heel is a very strict command. In fact, it's the most strict command that we teach any dog to do, no matter what their future is going to be. A dog that heels really well is literally watching you step for step and following stride for stride with you. His left paw should fall with my right foot each and every step of the way. And when I give the heel command, I'm going to lead with my inside foot. That's my right foot in this case. The inside foot is the foot closest to your dog. The outside foot is the foot furthest from your dog. So with my inside foot lead, I'm going to also give that verbal command, heel. And as I do, I'm just going to start walking around the room. And as I do that, he should fall in line step for step, pace for pace, focus on me all the while. They shouldn't lower their nose to sniff anything. They shouldn't be an inch too far ahead. They shouldn't be an inch too far behind. They shouldn't be an inch too far to the right, and they shouldn't be an inch too far to the left. And if they maintain that position in relationship to your body, wherever you go, no matter how fast or slow you're going, and no matter what's in between you as you go, then you have a dog that really is great at that heel command. Good. When we stop, they should sit automatically, just like he did. If I stopped and at the end of the heel command he didn't sit, I would say no heel and tug up and behind, lifting his head up and his butt down in order to pivot him into that sit position, and say no heel, letting him know we're not done with the heel until we stop and he sits. Again, leading with that inside foot, I'm going to go ahead and give that verbal command, heel. Good boy. A little verbal praise there. And you can tell he's into that. That tail's happy. And like I said, he really enjoys this stuff. I like figure eight patterns. Figure eight patterns allow you to practice both left and right turns. So I'm just going to go through these poles, or cones, I guess. And at home, you can use just 2 chairs or 2 books on the floor. It doesn't matter, just 2 points of reference that you can practice some figure eights in. And he's doing a really good job through there for me. And then we'll come back over here and stop. Excellent. He hit that automatic sit just like we like. Very good. Next thing we taught him is the down. Down. Good boy. This time, instead of leading with my inside foot, which means for him to get up and heel and follow me in that position, I'm going to lead with my outside foot. That's my left foot. And he should maintain his position that he's in this case, the down position. So leading with my outside foot, he should stay put. Good boy. As I walk around. This time, let's try him without giving the verbal command to heel. I'm just going to lead with my inside foot, and ideally, he should pop up into that position. This is a little higher level, but I think he's ready for that. Very good. And you can see he was. So by teaching your dog not just verbal commands, but signals as well with your body, then you've got a dog that's not just listening to your command, but watching you for information as well. And a dog that's listening and watching, very good, Bowser. A dog that's listening and watching is very likely to do what you want them to do. Down. Good. Outside foot, he should stay put. Good. Inside foot, yes. We heel. Very good. Now, you guys have to remember your left from your right in order to make this work. So think about things before you do them. It comes pretty naturally to me at this stage in my career, but when I first started, it's going to be like you. You have to think about it before you do it. So we're stopping. Oh, there's that good sit. I like that. Now what am I going to do? All right, well, let's lead with my outside foot. And what should he do? Oh, he should stay put. With the outside foot, stay put. He should stay put. What a good boy. Now I'm going to do the inside foot. And what should he do? He should follow suit. Very nice. Stay in that heel position. Good boy, Bowser. And like I said, guys, he is a dog. It's been a joy to train. He really enjoys the mental stimulation of this stuff. For him, it's a bit of a brain teaser, and he really is into this whole idea, figuring this stuff out. What a good boy. What a good boy. We taught the place command. So place means get on your place, and we use this cot here. Now you could transform this into a yoga mat, or you could a beach towel, or just anything that you want. I like a raised surface like this one is, because if he were to get off of this, it's pretty clear that he is getting off, where if it's a yoga mat or something, it's harder for them to get the difference that they stepped off of a yoga mat. As they get good at this, then a yoga mat's easier to transfer to. So with the raised cot like this, the only rule with the place command is that he can't get off of the place. He can stand up on it now. He doesn't have to hold the sit like he's doing. He's doing that because he chooses to. But the idea of the place command is that if he wanted to, he could stand up, turn around, lay down on it. He could fall asleep on it and wake up an hour later still on it. These are great things that you can practice at home. Get your thing out and whatever that place is going to be and make it take its place. Now, if he were to get off of this, if he were to jump off of this, I would just pull him back and say no place if he were to get off. And so I'm going to try a couple of distractions here that might tempt him. And, distractions are to dog training as weights are to weightlifting. And if you think about somebody that's super strong, they can lift a lot of weight. And if you think about a dog that's super well trained, they can work through a whole lot of distractions. And so what we're trying to do is build our dog's ability to work through distractions. And so it's one thing if a dog can hold a place command at night while you're watching TV. It's a whole other thing if a dog could hold a place command maybe at a soccer game where a bunch of kids are playing, sort of thing. And so here, as I bounce this ball, I want him to be able to continue to hold that place command even if the ball's bouncing, maybe even if the ball is rolling. Oops. And there you can see he kind of broke. That's all right. That's how they learn. We're going to tell him no, place. Good. I've learned a long time ago that a ball that bounces is challenging, but a ball that rolls is real challenging. So here he's doing good with the bouncing. Let's see if he gets this roll better this time. Good boy. Until I say, okay, okay. Good boy. Okay is a release word, means he can stop doing what he was doing, do whatever he wants. He chose to get the ball and go back to his place command. Now, he's not in the place command at this time, but you could put him in a place command and give him a toy or something to chew on. That's fine. In fact, it's probably a good idea, especially at this early age of the year. If you're going to do the place command for a while, give him something to hang out with while he's there. And super good job with that. So we've taught the come command. And so the idea with come is if I tell him, Bowser, come, I guess he can bring his ball with him. Very nice. Thank you. Good boy. Good. The come is a position in relationship to your body like the heel is a position in relationship to your body, except instead of being in the heel position, heel, where he's at my right side, I want the come to be here, right in front of me, facing me. But still, there's a sit involved, very important. Oh, no, sit. Very important when you teach your dog to come, that they learn that come means come and sit, and wait for you to tell them the release word or a different command word. Very important. If I don't teach them to come and sit, then later they learn to come and go, run right past me. And so we call those doggy flybys. We don't want your doggy to fly by you. We want them to come and sit in front of you. So when you teach the come, you're just going to back up a little bit. Come. Good. Making sure he comes and sits just like so. Good boy. Okay. Okay is a release word. He's off the clock. He can do kind of whatever he wants, except get to the end of the leash. So when you give the release word, they're released from commands, but the unspoken command is always in effect. So he needs to keep some slack in the length of the leash that I give him. If I hold the leash like this, he's only got maybe 4 foot, to do what he wants. If I do it like this, he's got like 6 foot to do what he wants. And so you get to pick how much leash he has, but he needs to keep some slack in whatever you give him. And I would practice with that quite a bit before you do some of these other commands. Just walking around your house, getting him used to stopping before he gets in a leash, making sure that you're proactively tugging in the opposite direction he's going. Then I would practice the sit command and get to the point where you could tell him sit. Good. And get to the point where you can walk some circles around him as he holds. No, sit. If he goes to get up, do just like that. Good boy. And maybe try your circles the other direction. Good boy. Very nice. You can give him a little break. Okay. Give him a little chance to have a little fun. What a good boy. And I like to throw some breaks in there. Just like a kid gets recess, a dog gets breaks, and they can have a little fun as a dog. And as long as they don't get to the end of the leash, have some fun. Chase the ball. Play with it. All good stuff. Bowser, sit. Then I'd work on that heel command, heel. And I would start off with easy circles. And an easy circle for a dog that heels on the right are clockwise circles, because as I go around the room clockwise, I'm turning into him. It's a little easier for him than if I go counterclockwise. And as soon as I turn that way, you can see he start to reach out for that ball, because now I'm turning away from him and he can start seeing things to the outside of us, and that makes him a little bit easier to be distracted than if I turn into him the whole time and I'm kind of corralling him in, and he can keep focused on me even to see anything anything else. He pretty much has to look in my direction for most of the cool things he wants to look at. When I stop, we get that nice automatic sit. And when that's all going good, then we try some figure eights. And when that's all going good, we start adding distractions to the mix, maybe even going outside, maybe even getting around our block. The art of dog training is to create a challenging but doable environment for you and your dog to train in each and every session. So if your dog's not making any mistakes, that's too easy. If your dog's making nothing but mistakes, either you're using the wrong equipment or you're using the wrong technique or you're in the wrong environment and you're in too hard of a distraction level and you need to buffer that back up a little bit. And so we're going to talk to you a lot more about that in our private lesson together. Looking forward to that follow-up session. But right now I'd like you guys to just enjoy getting Bowser back and have a little bit of just bonding time, and then maybe take a few days doing that and practice some of this stuff on the video, and then give me a call. Let's set up that follow-up session with you, and from there we can figure out what else you might need to do. But again, thanks for your trust in us. He's been a real pleasure to train. He's really a great dog. I know you guys are going to enjoy for years to come. So thanks again for your trust in us, and as always, we'd like to wish you all happy training. Okay, Bowser, good boy. Good boy. Good boy. Okay. Good boy. Good boy. Nice. Drop it. Place. No. Place. Good. 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 Good boy. Heel. No, heel. Good. No, heel. Heel. No, heel. Good, Bowser. Place. Good. Good. Okay. Good boy. Good job. What a good job. So you see Bowser's learning his place command, and the idea with place is that he could do whatever he wants while he's on it. He just can't get off of it. We always like to start with a little bit of an elevated platform like this cot, and then move down to maybe a yoga style mat if you're going to travel and move around a lot with your dog. But the idea of place is, they can do what they want as long as they don't get off of it. And he brought the toy right back with him, and he can hang out there, but he's still now in the place command, so that if I were to kick other toys around, he can't give up on that one and get a different one. So the idea is that we want to have a good command like this so that if we have company or if we're traveling, we can put our dog in a place command. They can be comfortable and they can be content, and at the same time maybe be out of the way of foot traffic or just waiting their turn, for a visit at a nursing home or something if they're a therapy dog. So I hope you enjoyed that little segment and saw how we practice through that. If I give a command to give him off of this place command, like if I say to him right now, Bowser, heel. I guess if he can heel with the ball in his mouth, that's fine. There, he dropped it. But the heel is a position relationship to my body, and he should stay in that position even as we go around these toys now. He shouldn't try to lower his nose to sniff the toy. No heel, yet alone try to grab it. If he does, you saw what we do. You use the word no with your correction. No, heel. Repeat the command word, which is the heel in this case, and then continue on your way. Good. This time maybe he won't try it. Good boy. Very nice. And when we stop, a nice automatic sit. Good boy, Bowser. Okay. Okay. Good. The okay is a release word. Of course, when he gets that, he can have it. The idea is that he can't have it during the heel, but he can have it during the release. So we want a dog to learn that toys are fun, toys are good, but when you're told a command, you should ignore the toy for that moment until the command is over, and then you go right back to having fun again. So I know Bowser's having fun. Hope you had fun watching, and as always, happy training. All right, so we have Enzo and Bowser. They almost look like they could be related. So we got Oodles and Doodles today, and today we are going to begin with Bowser. And we are going to take a little walk here at the park and enjoy a little bit of loose leash walking and get our commands working for us too. Ready to go, Bowser? Good boy. There you go. Okay. Good. We're going to start right away with this unspoken command. The idea here is we shouldn't have to say anything. A dog should learn very quickly and very often that they should never get to the end of the leash at any time for any reason. And so what we'll do is we're just going to proactively tug right before he reaches the end of the leash, like right there, and just keep reminding him time and time again that he should never reach the end of the leash at any time for any reason. And we call this the unspoken command because we shouldn't have to say it. It should be a given. You know, a dog shouldn't pull us. Right? Good boy. Right here, quick pull. Even if he's just sniffing something, you have the prerogative as the leader to decide whether you're going to stop and let him smell the roses, as it were, or just continue moving. It's his job to make sure that he's aware enough of where you're at all times to keep some slack in the leash. And then your job, for quite a while at least, is to make sure he does his job. And so that just means that you have to be watching him and be ready to proactively, that's it, just tug back or sideways or whichever direction is the opposite direction of wherever he's going. That's taking the slack out of the leash. So I've got a 6-foot leash today. It could work just as well on a 4-foot leash or a 10-foot, long line. The idea is no matter what length of line that you give a dog, they should start to figure out, it's their job to keep a little slack in it. So you'll see time and again how I'll just be subtly reminding him of this rule each and every time he reaches near the end. And we're about halfway through our program now, as far as the board and train program that Bowser is on. And he's doing really super well for where we're at so far. Right there, another quick reminder not to get to the end of the leash at any time for any reason. Good. Now at any time, I can give the command, Bowser, sit. Oh, sit. Good. Okay, attaboy. And we're looking for a dog just to hit that sit position whenever we give the sit command, even during the midst of our unspoken command. So that's kind of the idea we're trying to get across to him. There's the unspoken ones, like that one. And then there's the spoken ones. When I speak it, he's supposed to keep doing it till I tell him stop doing it. So let's show you that one again. We're just going to have you practice this during your regular walks with him. Bowser, sit. Good. And he's supposed to keep sitting until I give him the release word, okay. Very nice. Now you can build on that. And so this next time we do the sit, we're going to ask him to continue to hold the sit as we maybe walk a circle or something around him. So Let's try that. Bowser, sit. Good. No, sit. Okay, good boy. Good boy. Now, if there's a lot of distraction coming up, let's say somebody's coming up the path toward me, I'm going to go ahead and do the heel command. And so let's practice it across this bridge. The heel command is really good for times of heavy distraction or for, new environments. And so Bowser's already been across this bridge a few times, but, for dogs that haven't, then it can be a little different because we're going to change textures. Sit, in terms of his footing. So now I'm going to get the leash held more for the heel position. Good. Get my camera held that way too. And we're going to heel. Now the heel is very strict. Unlike the unspoken command that only has the one rule, this one has lots of rules. He's got to stay step for step with me, focus on me every step, not sniff the ground, not look away, not try to even go potty during the heel command. Very important that we just stay completely focused on one another, step for step, until I stop and he sits. Good boy. Okay, now we're back to the unspoken command. He can go right out ahead just like he chose to do right there. That's completely fine. The only thing he can't do, as you probably can guess, he can't get to the end of the leash at any time for any reason. That's the unspoken command. Well, I hope you enjoyed watching that little segment in the park, and it's a beautiful day to be out, and we're coming into some great fall weather, so lots of opportunities for you to get out and enjoy the same kinds of walks. Very subtle but powerful training with this unspoken command, and then add to it your verbal commands like the sit and the heel, and you're going to start to have a dog that really sees you in a different light. The light as a leader, and he therefore becomes your follower, and you guys can really enjoy some quality time together. Sit. Good. Heel. I like to finish with the heel command back to the vehicle. We call these healthy habits. Oh, heel. On a day where the pavement's super hot, I may not go through all of this, but today's not so bad, so we're just going to make sure that we finish strong. And get a nice sit command here. Sit. Good. As we open the door, he should hold. Good. Good boy. Nope. Sit. Good. Open the crate door and hup. Good boy. Good job. Very nice. That's a good job. Okay. And that's how it's done. Happy training.